To port or not to port? That is the question. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead, back with another video. If my voice sound raggedy, that's because your boy's been under the weather pretty much all through the holiday up to now. Still trying to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. Have mercy, y'all. Anyway, that ain't even how the song go. But I see all this. Well, let me be honest. I don't really see all the rummaging about ports. I don't think I'm invested enough to all the different YouTubers, even in the Nintendo community, to know all the goings-ons around this topic. I follow a few people who talked about it. My introduction to it was a video from Mr. T, which I was going to respond to, which I told him I was planning on responding to. But like I said, I got under the weather, so I didn't get a chance to. But then I end up seeing his video to that video, and it made me not really want to respond to it because I saw that this thing wasn't what I thought it was. I thought it was this was a thought sparked by him, not that this is a conversation going on between groups. And I see that this thing is kind of in the lane of what it's always in, and it made it not attractive to me. Seeing Terminator juice, why I'm anti-ports. I didn't even watch that video. I didn't even feel like, the title, just, I don't want to watch it. So I don't even know what he talked about. So, but I see everybody. I saw Nintendo Ultra kind of bring a neutral position with it. So I'm going to talk about it, what I was initially going to say to Mr. T's video, but that second video only added to what I said in the comment section on the first video, the confusion, because that's what I heard. I was kind of confused because the messaging was kind of, I don't know, it was saying two things to me. One was like, you're upset with Nintendo for the supposed ideas of all these ports coming, or the rumor, which, like I said to him, you don't really never talk rumors, but you're talking rumors. And then in the second video, I ain't gonna lie, man, like I said, I had no problem with Mr. T, but there seemed to be a little double standard going on in that second video, which made me not want to talk about it, because I know how this community works. I know that people automatically think that you're a hater and you're throwing rocks and stones at this individual. No, that ain't how it ain't that serious to me, folks. But if I hear something that I know, I can go to look at another video and see you saying the total opposite. To me, I can say that's flip-flopping, which I'm not going to say is flip-flopping. But what I will say is that second video had a lot of double standards in it, which ain't uncommon in this community, ain't uncommon with none of us. I think I've rolled that way, and sometimes I'm pretty sure you can catch me up on some things where it might be double standard. But there was clearly some double standards going on in that video. You can't make room for you to do the things that you have drawn and clowned others for doing, like talking rumors. You can't make a space for you to talk about rumors when it's convenient, or you want to talk about this particular rumor because it's interesting to you. And then back in the day, you made it to where it wasn't a good thing to talk about rumors. You can't not say names and then accuse people, because you accused me of sideswiping when I did say your name and Terminator Juice and Red Knight when I was addressing you guys. And like I said then, I say now, wasn't no problem, just happened to not be on that podcast. And I talked to the conversation of the podcast, the issue, and it didn't stay, the issues that y'all was talking about, it didn't stay in there. It got personal on some folks' ends, not mine, because I don't care. But anyway, you can't do all that and then say what you said in that second video and make a reason for why it's okay for you not to say names. It's okay for you to talk about the rumors. It's okay for you to throw out the flip-flopping and all that. Now, do I feel like it's about me? Heck no, because I'm not in the conversation. So I have my ideas of who it's about, or at least one person. I know you talking about OJ. I know he fits in that realm, and OJ had to own it. OJ do flip-flop. He a flip-flopper, but at the same time, I understand what OJ tried to do. OJ is trying to stay on top of the popular conversation. That's what OJ does. And it makes sense for what he do with the website and all the stuff that he does. I understand it. I mean, yes, but he had to wear the shoes of being a flip-flopper and changing his opinion and jumping to this and this narrative at the drop of a dime. I've even accused OJ of flip-flopping. But, you see, I said the name. Why? Because I really don't have no problem with OJ. If I feel like he flip-flopping, I say, OJ, you flip-flopping here. I don't see the need of leaving everything in limbo or whatever. You can't say you're talking to the community when it's not a community issue. This wasn't a community issue. This is a back and forth between sectors in the community. So you should point out who you're talking about and letting that person or that group be able to chime back respectfully. I mean, if it ain't no real beefs, why would there be beefs? Why? For what? It's games, folks. Who gives a care? When I said that to y'all, wasn't no beef with y'all. But like I said in the video, I can't control how people respond to what you say. Just know I ain't got no beef. But anyway, so it was a lot of double standards in your video, Mr. T. I'm just being honest with you. Hey, I can't control how you take it, and I really don't care. Now, getting to the whole ports. I can agree with everybody who feels like Nintendo should not be porting. And I can also agree with everybody who feel like those who own the Wii U and have these games are kind of hypocritical and flip-floppy to be excited about these ports when they were on their videos clowning the PlayStation 4 and all the ports that was coming to it from the PlayStation 3. I've said stuff about it. Everyone has said stuff about it. Now, if you're on the other side and you're praising the ports coming from the Wii U to the Switch, that can be kind of hypocritical in a sense. But I put a but there. Now, I haven't done it because I don't care. I'm going to buy what I want to buy, and if I don't want it, I won't buy it, and that's everybody's prerogative. That's your privilege. You do not have to buy these ports if the rumor is true, which is a rumor, but it's probably most likely true. It's logically to think it's true. Why? Because the Wii U did not live up to Nintendo's expectations. And this brings me to another person that I wasn't even going to worry about, but in the sense of cleaning it out, Shadow Fox, you got to be out your mind if you think the Wii U was successful because it sold at a profit, which it only sold at a profit after 2014. But we ain't going to even talk about that. It was selling at a loss all up until that point. But if you're going to just look at that and say, oh, it was successful because they were making money on the system. Well, I would say Nintendo didn't quite look at it that way. Why? Because the same video everyone keeps posting to you about Miyamoto talking about the Wii U, he said it failed to connect or attract consumers or appeal to consumers. If it failed to appeal to consumers, that means the 13 million that sold was not the projected amount that they thought they would sell. They thought they were going to sell way more Wii U's than they sold. So in Nintendo's own eyes, Miyamoto's own lips, it failed. Now, they're not going to sit up and say the Wii U failed, but they're saying it failed without really saying it directly. Everything you see with the Wii U says it failed. Do that mean that the system wasn't good? Yes, it was a good system with great games on it. And I bought a lot of those games, and I enjoyed the Wii U for what it was. But when I talk about the Wii U and what happened to the Wii U, I'm talking about Nintendo and how they handled it, not the system. And that's where a lot of people miss it. They think you're talking about the system. No, I'm talking about the company who mishandled the system. It failed. And another thing, Reggie used to say this all the time. We feel like if we can create sales, our software will generate sales for the hardware, and that will attract third party. So they were always aiming at getting third party, more third party to offset the fact that they were carrying the system for the first time in their whole career by themselves. No, Nintendo doesn't need a third party to survive, but they need third party to thrive. And I've said this so many times. So it wasn't no point in even responding to you, because in your video, you just, like the dude said, you slipped in all out of what I was saying and made it about what you wanted to make it about, not what I was talking about. So why respond? But anyway, if you want to come on the Live and Level Gamers podcast and talk this out, you are welcome to come. I will set it up. I will bring you on because that's what you want. Let's do it. But let's not be ignorant and silly here and act as if the Wii U did not succeed. It didn't. It's a fact. It's nailed in it's concrete, people. It failed. Now, that don't mean I didn't like it and others didn't like it. 13 million people owned it. Maybe half of them folks really liked it. The other half probably didn't. That's reality. Now, let's get to these ports. I just been 10 minutes on this mess. Anyway, but this is on the go, and I'm off the cuff. You don't have to buy the ports. It makes sense for Nintendo to be porting these games over when it was a little bit different with Sony. Yes, it can be a little hypocritical. I'm not saying that's not reality, but in the sense of Sony, you're talking about 90 plus million PlayStation 3s in the market. That's 90 million opportunities to sell software. Now, on a financial tip, that was a bad system for them. They lost a lot of money on the PlayStation 3, but they did have hardware in the marketplace. All them games they was bringing over to the PlayStation 4 were successful on the PlayStation 3. Now, it's a little bit different with the Wii U because you're talking about 13 million. Now, some of these games did sell pretty decent, like Mario Kart sold decent, Splatoon sold decent. Excuse me, told you I was sick. And plenty of other games sold decent. But how much more would those games have sold had the platform or the hardware been more successful in the marketplace? So in Nintendo's mind, going off of what they sold on the Wii, I'm pretty sure that's what they looked at, which the Wii was an anomaly, but I'm pretty sure Nintendo, based on the Wii sales, thought they can generate those similar sales with the Wii U. That they did. It's obvious that they thought that. They felt like they could sell more Mario Karts, more Splatoon, copies of Splatoon, more whatever else they might be bringing over to the Switch. They invested a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of energy into these games where they don't feel like they got the return that they was looking for. It's obvious. So with the Switch, they're bringing it over because it was on a system that did not live up to expectations. They're bringing it over. It makes business sense. What y'all are talking is personal. It's personal. It's individual. It can be kind of selfish because, yes, I own the Wii U. I can harp and gripe about ports that Nintendo is bringing over to the Switch, or I can be like, I just ain't gonna buy those ports. Now, if I get on and I'm praising it, yeah, I could be hypocritical, and you're right. There's a lot of people that are praising it. That sounds very hypocritical, but it makes sense. And like I said, in the first video, it seemed like you was talking about those who are hypocritical, and you was talking about your own personal disdain or dislike of the ideal of all these ports coming to the Switch. And it seemed like I said in the video, it seemed like that's a problem you have with Nintendo. You need to say that. You know what I'm saying? My thing is Nintendo need to hear all of it. They need to hear the praise as well as the criticism of how they operate. That's been my thing for the last 2.5, 3 years. I've been on that. That don't mean I don't love Nintendo. I very much love Nintendo. I very much plan on getting the Switch, even though I didn't think that's what it was going to be. I wasn't entirely interested in this ideal of the Switch until I actually saw it. Then I'm like, wow, that's actually might work. It seems like Nintendo might have done the right thing going with NVIDIA and everything that I thought it wasn't going to be. But anyway, this is going on 14 minutes now. I think I've said what I wanted to say. I don't think this is community-wide. I think this is between camps again, more of that stuff. I don't know, because I don't follow enough of you guys to know nothing of the sorts. But don't buy the ports, people. That's your prerogative. That's your privilege. You don't have to spend your money on the ports. You don't even have to acknowledge them. What other folks do on their channel, okay, we all, let me say that again, we all have walked in the shoes of flip-floppery. We've all flip-flopped. Yes, every last one of us have flip-flopped. You have flip-flopped. I have flip-flopped. Terminator Juice have flip-flopped. Red Knight has flip-flopped. I'm naming, I don't care. How y'all, I really don't. Because I have no problem with you guys. That's why I don't have no problem saying your name. We all have. I have. Leveled Head has flip-flopped. You could go in the past and find me saying one thing here, and I probably said something different here. Yeah, my mind can change, but yeah, we all have played and flirted with flip-floppery, hypocrisy, double standards. That's why I'm saying that video, second video, is a lot of double standards there. But you're right. It's not the most attractive thing with all these ports. But if they change some aspects of it and add some things like we saw in the small little teaser, that can justify the port coming. Meaning they letting you have 2 items in Mario Kart. We don't know all what's happened. Like I said, that was a rumor, and I ain't here to talk about the rumor. But you can't hold people to a standard that you don't hold yourself to, or you move the goalpost when it's convenient to move it. And that's what I saw. I'm just calling what I saw. I enjoy your stuff just as well as I enjoy anybody else's stuff. Some folks I stop following because I don't enjoy their stuff. And you ain't going to never hear about me talking about who I unfollowed. And you ain't going to even hear about me talk about those who have unfollowed me and kicked me out of communities and all kind of stuff. You won't hear me bring up these people's names. I don't care, man. It's video games. So this is live. This is Level Head on the go. The Live and Level Gamers podcast will be tomorrow. And we will go into more depth on this port mess, and we will talk about it, and we will say names, and we will address what we think needs to be addressed, and it is what it is. That's what we do in this community. This is what makes this community thrive. We can do it in a healthy way, or we can do it in a offensive way. I don't feel like nothing I said in this video is offensive, but if you take it that way, then that means you got thin skin, because I done heard things said about me, and it ain't hurt my feelings at none at all. If you don't agree with me, tell me you don't agree with me. Shadow Fox didn't agree with me, thought my point was a joke. That's fine. It's all good. I think his point is a joke, but I don't have no problem with him. And he could come on the podcast, and I would tell him right there, I think your position is a joke. You ain't being real, man. You in denial. Let's make it happen. You could come on tomorrow. Let's do it. Anyway, this is your boy Levelhead signing out. Till next time, deuces.